We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. Started Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live for another Ordinal Hour, and we're going to be here all week, guys. It's going to be amazing. Same time, same place. So check us out every single day. It's going to be great. And, guys, you're not bullish enough. None of you guys in the chat are bullish enough. Nobody is thinking 63K today. I was bullish all last week. It was Germany that was pushing my prediction down, but I'm finally right here. I think we're going to be at 70K by Friday. I just feel the momentum's back. I feel like the heat is up. I think it's ready to explode. August is going to be huge in the words of Trump. So it's going to be a big week. I think we all need to start getting prepared. We're going to go over a lot of things. Title for the show today is Bitcoin Layer 0, because we think Bitcoin is going to be the ultimate chain. That's why we do a show on it every single day. But we're going to get into what that means and where we think Bitcoin is headed. And then obviously today is Merlin Monday. We had it's our third Merlin Monday in a row, so this is going to be a fun one. We have some really, really good people joining us later. That'll be at 12 o'clock. So what we're going to do today is first 45 minutes is we're going to go into show topics, and then 15 minutes before 12 o'clock, we're going to dig into all your questions. So put your questions in the chat. But let us know what you're thinking, comments, whatever. Put it all in there, and then we're going to get into some Merlin Monday stuff. And then at the end of Merlin Monday, we're going to get into some more Q&A. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. So just hang with us. It's going to be a long show, but it's going to be well worth it. But without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Shizzy and Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Merlin Monday. How you feeling, man? How was your weekend? With some thoughts?
Yeah, weekend was definitely different, right? Obviously, there was major events that occurred, and it seems to be like bullish for our space, just because I think there's some presumptions of what this means, and I think there's the kind of mood is changing. I kind of feel like there's like someone had said that like our timeline has shifted into a more positive, possible like a unity type of timeline. Obviously, for our space, we feel very bullish about what's going on right now, and Bitcoin seems to be really strong, looking strong this morning to start the week off.
Yeah, I agree. It's like looking very strong. We've been bullish on the show for a while now, right? So how are you feeling with the momentum that we just happened over the last 2 days? Are you feeling like bullish, or do you think this is not going to last?
So I've been calling that towards the end of the month we're going to shift, right? So we're in the second half of the week now. We're at the start, or sorry, second half of the month. We just started the second half of the month. My whole thesis has been, bleed out, bleed out, bleed out, and then eventually the momentum will shift. It seems like it might have shifted even a little earlier because of the events that occurred. But this has always been kind of my thesis is kind of heading towards the Bitcoin conference. We regain strength, and Germany's done selling off too. That's another big thing, right? So that was something that was hanging over our heads. So we'll see how this week plays off. I'm not fully convinced that there's not going to be any pullback right now or for the next couple of days. I think we might see some, but definitely a show of strength to break 60,000, and now we're at 60,000. We hit 60,300, right? So we'll see how the rest of this week plays out, but I'm seeing strength is what I'm feeling for Bitcoin's price action.
Bitcoin feeling strong for sure. Let's kind of get into some reasons why it's feeling strong. Donald Trump still will attend and speak at Bitcoin conference later this month, which is about 12 days from today, following his assassination attempt. So obviously we kind of hit on it already, hit on yesterday's show, so I'm not going to hit on too much, but how big do you think this is going to be now that Trump's a little bit different now going forward?
It's going to be interesting. I think we're going to get a little preview during the RNC event he's supposed to speak at. He said that himself, that his entire speech has been kind of changed in terms of his perspective going into it, and possibly like the content that he's going to be speaking about. So we'll see. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Also, it's another sign of strength that he's like, I'm going to be at the Bitcoin conference. I'm going to be at these events. I'm not like changing my schedule, right? So as much, there's probably people in the audience saying, why are we talking about Trump right now? But it has a direct correlation to like Bitcoin and the future of crypto, as he's become this pro, politician for it, right? Like he's the nominee for the presidency, and he's saying that he's considering making Bitcoin a reserve for the US dollar, right? So there's a lot of like pro things for Bitcoin and crypto if he becomes president. So I just think people are excited about that, and I think this is just really big and shows strength that he's going to still be at the conference.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. And if you guys are going to be at the conference, we also have the 21% off coupon on our website, so definitely check it out if you're headed down there. I'm gonna jump in these two next ones because they're kind of attached to each other. So, Chinese banks invest heavily in Hong Kong's Bitcoin and crypto companies. So that's pretty big. Yeah, I'm not sure I got that from, but yeah, the Chinese banks are now investing in crypto companies over there for the first time. And then David Bailey says, I told y'all for 3 months that China plans to greenlight spot Bitcoin ETF trading in RMB by 2025. There are major geopolitical moves being made right now. So David Bailey, who's someone, if anyone don't know, he's CEO of Bitcoin Magazine. He's one of the heaviest pushers of Bitcoin. I mean, he's the reason why Trump's going to be in Nashville. He's a big reason why Trump even knows what Bitcoin is. He's been educating him in different ways. So this is pretty big. How do you feel about really China really getting involved, and David Bailey calling it months ago?
Yeah, I feel like China is looking at Bitcoin as kind of like a savior as well right now for their economy, because they had some bank collapses recently.
Yeah,
I think the smaller and regional banks have seen some high stress levels. So this is very interesting, but we're also seeing like news from like South Korea saying that they're going to postpone the capital gains tax for crypto, right? So I think a lot of these politicians probably view this as an opportunity for themselves as well, right? But I think we're going to see more and more of the world powers look at Bitcoin as its reserve, kind of like gold was back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, right? So
yeah. I agree. This is a tweet from Vivek, not the presidential candidate, the Bitcoiner. He says, "Well, you were scared. Whales just bought up $4.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin bull run officially begins as BlackRock resumes buying." And then BlackRock CEO Larry Fink today says he sees Bitcoin BTC as digital gold. These all kind of going to go into each other. What do you think, dude? We actually were just watching Larry Fink talk while we're in the pre-show there. This is huge. I mean, Jim Cramer, he likes to definitely lick the butt cracks of these billionaires that come on the show. So it's definitely you see him
wasn't
now.
expecting that statement.
I mean,
That's
he was,
funny.
dude. I mean,
I
he does. Any
lick the
billionaire that
boot.
comes on the show. No, he's deep, dude. He's definitely into the ass eating for sure. So but yeah, how do you feel about Larry Fink and now Jim Cramer really, really bullish on Bitcoin?
Yeah, so I have another theory on just the control of these huge corporations and stuff, but that's for another day, maybe another type of podcast, right? But this is bullish for Bitcoin. We saw that interview this morning, but he admitted that he was wrong, and I think that's really important for people in powerful positions like he's in, right? I mean, they're pretty much everybody kisses their ass and tells them that they're never wrong, but when they come out and admit that they were wrong 4 years ago and says, hey, like this is something to really is a solid investment vehicle, is what he said. That's extremely bullish for this bull run, right? So because now not only do you have the regular degens, which we matter the most, I think, even if we don't have the most liquidity and capital, but you have the institutional crypto people, and then you have now TradFi coming in. So there's no one against it at this point, right? So that's, to me, that this will propel this bull run even more, and we can see some crazy numbers. There's always been this kind of small talk, quiet talk in the background, but it's consistent of, man, once TradFi really comes over, you're talking about trillions of dollars that's going to roll in. And I think we might see a preview, if not like a good version of that in this bull run.
Yeah, man. I'm going to jump into the Bitcoin fear and greed real quick. So it's at 52 today.
I don't like that.
Yesterday was a 33. Last week was a 28. If you guys were fearful, if you were buying while others were fearful, using the whole Warren Buffett trick, you buy when people are scared and you sell when people are greedy. People were scared last week. They were very scared. We got down to a 22 at one point, I believe, and really settled there between 28 and 33. How do you feel about this 20-point jump from one day?
I don't like how large or how fast it jumped up like that, but I guess, what do you expect whenever we were hanging around 58, 59,000, sometimes touching 56, a week ago, week and a half ago, and then now we're at 63, right? And so it makes sense that it did propel that fast, but that could also make me feel like, okay, look, we might, pull back a little bit here or there, and I don't think the market makers are going to make it that easy. Eventually it will be, because they can't stop that. Like, you know what I mean? With like that huge leg up, once that happens, and the aggressive pull ups, stuff like that, they won't be able to help it. And I think that they're probably trying to get as much liquidation out of the way as possible now before that happens. And so we'll see. We'll see, how the rest of July plays out. I probably expect some chop a little bit, but man, it's looking so good today so far.
Well, yeah, I think we hit 70 this week, and I think we're back in the 90s next week, especially during the conference. Sorry. And then I just think that we're going to be stuck between 80 and 90 for the rest of the summer and going into the fall. It's my prediction on the fear and greed. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, we'll be high heading into the fall. But if there's like positive sentiment in society because of what people think is going to happen with the presidency, and there's just like a positive overall sentiment, then I could see us being okay in those a little bit of like the greedy scores, right?
For sure.
But I think that positivity needs to be strong for that to carry into like an actual thing, and then we might even see higher numbers in the fall and winter.
I agree. All right, we'll just jump into one of my favorite parts of the show here, the Bitcoin price action. If you would kindly show us what you're seeing, my friend.
For sure. But before we jump into this, if you're on the YouTube side, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed, smash that like for us, because that helps us a ton. On the Twitter side, guys, please share this space. We want to onboard as many people as possible. And you have probably some people in your network on Twitter that aren't onboarded to Ordinals or Bitcoin ecosystem in general. So please share this space for us, and let's hop right into it here.
Yeah, man.
All right. So we are looking at the hour chart first here, and you can see we're in the kind of like this consolidation to uptrend pattern here. Consolidation happening here, but it was still uptrend. And we got all the way to 63 right here, 200. There is a little bit of pullback happening now, but not much. Like the momentum of upward trend is still staying pretty strong. We're hovering between 62.8 to 63.200 is kind of where we are right now, right? So with that being said, the stochastic RSI, kind of worked its way up to overbought for a while. We started at 9 o'clock last night and ended at 4 a.m. this morning, really. Well, I guess you could say 5 a.m. this morning, and then kind of traveled down here and popped back up. And so it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to, say what I think is going to happen for the rest of the day because we've gone up so much. But this positive price action is really strong momentum, right? You can see even here on the MACD, like the sell pressure is tiny compared to where we just came out of. Now, I do think that there's going to be some correction because that's just how, the trading goes, right? You got to have the pendulum swing here. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that like we continue some of this bullish momentum today, just because sometimes the charts aren't going to tell you exactly how it goes, right? We had a lot of positive momentum from over the weekend with events and stuff, even though it was a tragic situation, but the market's responding well to that. I think that we continue this bullish momentum. The sell downs I believe today will be probably a little bit weaker. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get to 64,000 later today. That. I just wouldn't be. So that's like I said, I'm kind of going out on a limb, not using as much charting for my prediction for the rest of the day. So that's today. On the 4-hour chart here, you can see strong bullish momentum still up here. We've been up here for a while, and that was part of the help of us getting back over 60,000. But you can see on the MACD that the buy pressure is still pretty strong. It was flipping back and forth from weakening to strengthening, and then now you see the blue and red lines kind of separating again. So this could continue for the next couple of days as well. The 12-hour chart looks amazing. So I think it's gonna really play into what we've been saying, right? Finishing July strong, heading into that Bitcoin conference, and then looking pretty good. Maybe trying to knock on the door of 70,000. Everything looks good here. This upward trend, along with us staying up here in the stochastic RSI above 80, but strong staying because this matches with strength here on the MACD. Just showing these green candle buy pressures, just strengthening. So I do see us finishing July pretty dang strong. At least knocking on the door of possibly another all-time high, right? So we shall see what happens, but I'm feeling really good about everything. And just really quick to come back over to the hour chart. So second half of today, these are the patterns that I'm seeing. So we did kind of start this uptrend reversal pattern, right? So we had this almost kind of like a cup here. And then consolidation breakout is I thought that was right here, and it could still be there. We did retrace some, but we'll see how we finish the day. Like I said, I think it's going to be bullish for the rest of the day. I do feel that. I feel like a pause. This is the first time I feel like strength has come back to Bitcoin in like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard last week with Germany dumping. I mean, you got to remember how much Bitcoin they dumped and how much accumulation happened from the ETFs. If we just, we no longer get that sell pressure, but that buy pressure is still there. I mean, I could see it. But again, smart money doesn't buy rips, they buy dips. And, so the accumulation could stop there as well. But David Bailey did hint to some big news being dropped next week at the conference. So I'm curious to see maybe a country comes out or maybe Michael Dell comes out. Something big is going to happen at the conference, which is going to, I think, propel Bitcoin. So what's going to happen a lot of times too, the conference is a buy the rumor, sell the news. So we could actually run up into the conference and then dip at the conference. But then let's just say Saturday happens and then we just kind of continue that momentum. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, this could be the biggest Bitcoin conference ever. We have this is definitely the biggest guest list in my opinion, right?
For sure.
And if there's a huge announcement there, I mean, this could change the trend of the Bitcoin conference and say, hey, this one was so big that like people got so crazily bullish that it puts Bitcoin over a new all-time high. We'll see.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll jump into the roll call. Let's see who's here, guys. Roll call matters. If people say they watch a show, but I'm like, did you ever make roll call? A lot of people say, no, I haven't ever made it, or I watched the show late. You got to make roll call. There'll be a reason for that eventually down the line. But let's go. We have our number one and the winner of today. Congratulations, BitRens, one of our early subscribers, man. We appreciate you. I think you were like in the top 10, but thank you so much, man. You are huge part of the show, and we appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for always being here. And then second spot, we got Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you. Followed by Glass Hoppers in the building. And then our guy, man. Always want to shout out our guy. He says GM Unite Ls. Yeah, sure, man. He helps us every single day. We have a research and developments Telegram page that just for kind of helps us with the news, and he's such a big part of that. We appreciate you, my friend. He's actually the only part of it. People are like, yo, can I join that? And it's still only, yeah, sure. Well, we appreciate you, my friend. And then we have Kai Effect here. He says, God bless you. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yes, sir. Howard Browner is here. And then another one of our mods. We appreciate my boy Danny.
Danny?
Always here, man. A big part of the show. Bitmap Gallery is here. Been a while, Bitmap Gallery. I don't remember saying your name in at least a week or so, but you're bullish again. I see it. I Walk Alone is here. He says GM, and then he has this amazing comment. He says, don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, and share to all your socials. 30K subs is the goal. Let's make it happen. Yes, guys, let's make that happen. Then he says, join the channel for the member alpha. Best $10 you'll ever spend. I hope so. But thank you so much, my friend. And then our guy, No is here. Followed by Lackey Lukey, Rick G, Long Live BRC20. Dream Baked is here. He's been here almost every day. We appreciate you, Dream Bake. Mighty Sonu is here. Ordinal Tweets is in the building. Julian Ruda, I think it's your first time here. You say more than 40K track and no whitelist. I don't think you filled out the slip because you should have gotten it. Did you fill out the slip for that? Let us know. Joko is here. Then my guy E-Buck is here. He says, GM just bought a Billy Cat when rich. Tuesday.
Let's go.
I don't know what Tuesday, but it'll be a Tuesday. Ant-Man is here. Crypto hot news. This is a hard one for me. Soji Mujo, right? Shoji Mujo?
Yeah, Shoji Mujo. Yeah.
Welcome to the show. I think it's your first time here. Thank you so much for checking us out. Reziak is in the building. Chain Watcher. See, Reziak? I got it right. It just takes me a week or two, but I eventually get it. I was practicing last night. Let's see. We got my man. Okay. Durbu is here. Shout out to you, my friend. Your first time here. Thank you so much for joining in. Arthur is here. KDN is in the building. Cache Cats is here. Cash Cats always bringing the coffee and the donuts. Appreciate you, my friend. Eat Satoshi. Satoshi's going to join us eventually down the line. Can't wait for that day. Amir is here. And then Pentalonially. Lucky Pants. Lucky Pants.
Yeah, Lucky Pants.
You should change it to Lucky Pants. That'd be amazing. Lucky Pants is here. And then we have Jesus is in the building. Nighthawk is here. Appreciate you, Nighthawk. I think this is your third or fourth time here. Appreciate you. Mugen is here. Let's see. David Heyman is in the building. Shout out to you, Damon. So Trump speaking at BT conference is likely going to be sell the news event. Like every event treated nowadays. We'll see. We'll see if there's yeah, that's definitely something to definitely keep in mind because most Bitcoin conferences are sold by the rumor, sell the news. So, Pelpa is here. Shout out to Pelpa. Definitely, Pelpa won last week's track validator. It's a round 2, so you have to wait some time to get it, but I promise you will get that. Kal-El Superman is in the building. And let's see. We have Crypto Noob is here. Shout out to you. Wayne Taylor's in the building. Shout out to you, Wayne. I think it's your first time here as well. JBTC is in the building. And JBTCs, hopefully I get it in another round. There's going to be plenty of rounds, man. They go all the way to 10,000 track. Hopefully you get one in the 500 or the 800 range, but we'll see. And that's the roll call, man.
Nice. Yes, it's important to make the roll call for sure. We start to memorize your usernames, and then we say, okay, that person's been paying attention. They're gonna make it. Yep. So,
and when we get down the line, man, I say it a lot. Like I'm definitely gonna remember who's here during these dark times, especially last week. And I'm starting to memorize a lot of your names, seeing you guys constantly. It's like the more I see you guys, the more I'll recognize you. That could be really big in the future, but we'll see. Coming on our number one topic here. What exactly is a Bitcoin layer 0. So people that don't know, Polkadot layer 0 is a layer 0 that has L1s on top. Cosmos is a layer 0 that has chains on top. What is a Bitcoin layer 0?
Yeah, so I think Bitcoin layer 0 is just a kind of, I guess, theory / concept that we've been kind of talking about a little bit, but Bob Balderly has been talking about as well, and he's been working on something trying to build out. But I'm going to share my screen here and show what Bob Balderly says a layer 0 is. So
yeah,
let me do that. Okay, so Bob Balderly says, what exactly is a Bitcoin layer 0? And he puts 3 different points here. The first one is a bridge Bitcoin native assets, BTC, Ordinals, BRC20s, runes, etc., to any other chain. The second part of the characteristics of a Bitcoin layer 0 is bridge any NFT or fungible token from any chain to Bitcoin. So you're coming from the outside in. And then the third part is bridge all Bitcoin assets across Bitcoin layers, meta protocols, side chains, L2s, and rollups. Right. So this is something that he's been thinking a lot about, right? And then this comment is actually a pretty good one. He says, to be honest, that just sounds like a bridge. This is from Alex B. And then he replies, yep, interoperability hub equals Bitcoin layer 0 equals moving assets across chains, omni-chain bridging. So you and I were talking about this before in a couple of live streams back, and I brought up Polkadot and how they work over there, right? With Polkadot being the layer 0 and these other layers acting like layer 1s, right? And then they can easily bridge back and forth to each other, and so I guess synergy is there, right? And so with us having so many meta protocols over here, that naturally just came to my mind that, oh, wow, Bitcoin can kind of have this type of structure, right?
Yeah.
And then so we found out Bob Bodley's been thinking about this, and he's been thinking about building this hub to make Bitcoin a layer 0 for all these different layers and side chains to really work together in synergy, because I think that's very important, especially if they're not going to go away, right? And people can say, well, there's going to be one dominant meta protocol standard. Well, if people are still building and not giving up, then it's still going to exist. And people, can try to build up their community and user base as long as they keep going, right? So I think for there to be an efficient ecosystem on Bitcoin, that the layer 0 makes the most sense to me. And so this seems to be what Bob is trying to build over here. And I think most people know that Bob's a really intelligent person. We've had him on a couple times. So him thinking this and us kind of having that same thought process, I think that this could be something in the future. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the same thing. And Bob actually took it a step further than we did, because when we were talking about it, we were kind of only saying that Bitcoin is going to be a layer 0 for these meta protocols, right? For TAP, for runes, for BRC20s, stuff like that. He's actually taken it to the point where Arbitrum, Ethereum, Optimism, they're all considered layer 1s on top of Bitcoin's layer 0 as well. Because he's talking about bridging to them. He's talking about ICP being a layer 1 to Bitcoin layer 0. So he's actually taking it to a whole different level, to where everything becomes in sync with each other, using Bitcoin as that bottom, right?
Yeah,
which
that
is huge.
hub.
I think that is massive. If he's able to put something together to where that is even possible, I mean, that's huge. Obviously, we're going to need Opcat, right? Opcat's going to be a big player in this layer 0. Bob is 100% sure we're going to get Opcat. He's thinking it's going to be this year. I'm a little bit on the other camp of that and saying it'll happen. And it just Bitcoin, especially with the big guys involved, it's going to take a little longer to be convincing. But I think they have a really good approach. So we'll see with that. But
yeah,
I can definitely see that happening.
Yep. And really quick, one other thing I want to show, he posted this as well. And these are just other features that would, he would like to include into this layer 0 kind of foundation. So on the tech side, he said threshold signing, oracles to verify state on other chains. So oracles coming out from Bitcoin to verify states and then coming back, reporting that, right? So omni-chain Bitcoin NFT marketplaces, which that's something that I see happening regardless. smart contract wallet. So this is the big one, right? This is going to have to be when the opcodes get added, if it's going to interact directly with Bitcoin's layer. If it doesn't interact directly with Bitcoin's layer, then this is still possible, I think, right? Account abstraction, that's something that's already out there with Particle Network, right? So a lot of these foundational like infrastructure features are already there. So that there needs just to be a centralized hub that kind of puts them all together.
Yeah.
And then he says log in with any wallet. Content wise, Meta Protocol. So we talked about that. All the side chains, rollups are going to be really big, I think, eventually, right? ZK, zero knowledge, that allows for kind of like the smart contract environment. And then peer-to-peer protocols, which is atomic swaps, and then BitVM and CAT. So he's basically saying, you know, everybody that's building anything with any substance will be able to kind of be in this kind of centralized layer one tooling and hub environment.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love the way Bob's his brain works, dude. It's just like I feel like he's just like one step ahead of everyone else, and I feel like it's gonna be more of a narrative later this cycle, especially when Bitcoin layer ones have the the capacity to do DeFi, the capacity to really start getting ready for OpCat and stuff like that. So I definitely think he sees the future. He definitely has tomorrow's newspapers today, in other words of our boy Francis. So, but yeah, I'm bullish on this for sure.
Same.
All right, moving along here. This is huge from the Billy Cats Twitter. Someone swept 30 Billy Cats in a single sweep this morning. Paper hands got eaten up and send it to Billy. So this was huge. Billy was really getting beat up this weekend, and I wasn't worried though, because I seen the same thing happen with Goosenals before Goosenals took off. Right, Goosenals were very similar to the price action that we're seeing today with Billy Cats, and they would get pretty much beaten down really bad, and then someone big would come in and buy 20 to 30s 40 of these things, right? And they would keep accumulating. They'd wait for the price to go down, they come in and buy a bunch. I think that Billy Cats are this cycle's Goosenals. I think that we're going to see these at 0.07, maybe 0.1 at one point, depending on the price of Bitcoin, obviously. But when I say cycle, I think this Bitcoin macro cycle that we're in, that started in 2023, has a bunch of mini cycles in it, and I feel 100%. Like we're on our third mini cycle, and I think we're gonna get that probably the start of August until like I want to say October, and then we might see like a little bit of a dip going into the election. I think that's a lot of buy the rumor, sell the news. I think when Trump wins, it's gonna dump just because of everyone's expecting. But then I think momentum was going to get built up again for our next cycle that starts in January, and that's how I'm feeling for that. And I think that Billy Cats is really going to shine going into this fall.
Yeah, and so I was looking at a comment, but yeah. Anyways, so I think the biggest opportunity for the Billy and Billy Cats community is the convention coming up, because the thing about this is it's not like one little section of the ecosystem is really trying to push this. I feel like it's spread out. There's a lot of people that are in the OMB community. There's people that are in the Node Monks community. There's people that are obviously the Billy token on Runes. Because it really identifies with everybody in the space with the Bitcoin B logo, right? I know I emphasize that, but it got me to start creating like lore stories for my cats that I have, right? And I put those out every day just to kind of have people read them, and it's intriguing. And who knows, maybe I put together a PDF booklet, and there's like a lore kind of book, a book that maybe I might inscribe. We'll see where this goes, but. More than anything, I think the community aspect of it can be really strong, and I think there's big plans for them to, have glasses and masks and stuff at the convention. So we got to really change the culture of the laser eyes, because those guys are boring for one, they're outdated, and they're dwindling by the minute in terms of their community size. So the new laser eyes is the Billy Cat eyes, and we're going to see a ton of that at this convention, I bet you. But yeah, so that's why I'm bullish on it.
I agree. Before we hop on the next thing, Kai, I hope I didn't miss you in the roll call, because I definitely saw your name and I was like, I don't remember saying it, so I just wanted to hit on you just because I didn't. And we have someone new here. We have Lance Lipman, your first time here. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much, Lance, for coming in and come hang out with us. Appreciate you, my friend. But jumping into the banners again. Okay, so this is It's pretty big. Track round 1 sold out. All 300 round 1 validators license have been sold in just a few hours. We were lucky enough to get one. We have a lot of track in our vault there. So we were, we don't have any much. We have the one guy said he has 40K. We don't have that much. We got less than half of that. But
by the way, we did the regular entry like you guys did.
Yeah.
So like, we
there
just
was
got
no favoritism.
one of them. So.
Yep. So we got lucky with that. And what we're probably going to buy another one in the 500. We're probably going to buy one at least in every round up into probably like 1,000, 2,000 track. Just I think these are going to
get too pricey.
Yeah, it's going to get too expensive for sure. But really depends on the price of track as well. But I definitely want to get at least 3. But my ultimate goal is to get 10. So I'm hoping they get sold in the open market and we're able to pick a few up. I think they're going to be very coveted going into next year for sure.
Yeah, but they fit a good narrative is what I wanted to say, squeeze in there real quick, because I just remember people talking about like purchasing nodes for new blockchains and all this stuff, and did well. So we'll see, but I'm bullish on this for sure.
Yeah, and our guy SMB BRC 20 fund, he had a prediction. He's been pretty right. A lot of his predictions. I'm going to show this chart that he popped up. He said macro bottom forming, next leg will lead to track adoption. And you can see, and I seen this chart for a while. This isn't the first time he's posted this. He posted it around here with this line here, and I thought it was going to break a lot sooner, but it kind of like dwindled down a little bit, and now you see a break. And if you see every single time it's broken in the past, like I said, this isn't new chart. He's posted this many times, and every single time it's broken to a new high. So potentially, I mean, we have a prediction on track that leads us to about $11. No, I'm sorry, $30. I think that's our prediction. Some people will say we're not bullish enough, but I think that's a very fair, and it's not overwhelmingly bullish, right? I think that's a fair number there. But he sees us getting into this next sector. The last sector ended up around $7, $8, I believe. But you can see it here just broken through. But we could hit that $18 mark before we get potentially a retracement back to 6 or 7. But I think it's pretty big.
Yeah, I agree. It's about time. There's a lot of pent up demand on this price action, right? There's a reason why that whale posted that 25,000 track listing on Unisat, whether it's to buy cheaper, keep the prices low before it really blows up, or what. I think that there's just a lot of pent up demand on this. So hopefully we're right, and hopefully we're right about at least getting the 30 and wrong about it going higher.
I mean, I would love to get to $50. I mean, we'd both be pretty well off at that point for sure.
I think a lot of people would be.
Yeah, 100%. Especially John. John's holding like 30K of these damn things. So shout out John. Moving to the next thing here, Unicross. We're gonna have them on later today. So join us at 12 p.m. We moved it up 30 minutes earlier because these guys are in Singapore, and we just think it's better for the show as well. But Unicross bridge service upgrade. This is really, really big, especially for Ordinal Hive. Bridge assets from Bitcoin to Merlin with 0 service fee for a limited time. And this is a courtesy of Jeff. Jeff is taking the loss on this. I don't think people understand how expensive it is to keep this bridge up. It's a lot of money, and that's why you did see it was like good $15 to bridge a batch of stuff over, but now it'll be free. So take advantage of this, get as much stuff on Merlin as possible, because we think Hive is going to be a great place for selling and listing and all types of cool stuff. So you're going to want to bridge over as much as possible, especially when it's free here.
Well,
and
you've already been messing with it, right?
Yeah,
and you sold a couple things. You got your points going.
I got 18 points. Shout out me.
Let's go.
I bought a couple bitmaps, sold a couple bitmaps, bought a couple bitmaps. So I'm just kind of testing it out, helping those guys out, trying to make sure that it is perfect for when launch happens. Obviously, we're a partner of those, so that's kind of my job is kind of help them out as much as possible on aspects of really just being a tester, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, how big do you think this bridge service fee going to 0? It's going to 0. But yeah, it's pretty
for
good.
a limited time. So I think you got to take advantage of it. Because bridging can be costly anywhere, especially with these Bitcoin layer 1 assets. So the fact that they're offering free, bridging fees, I think that's huge. It's huge. So take advantage while it lasts.
This is a tweet from our guy Jeff, who will be joining us later on the show as well. He says, "1 Runes BRC 20's bridge free. Bridge out. It'll be 3 days, so that you will be paying on the bridge out. Obviously, permissionlessly apply new assets for bridging." And then you got to remember too, the Rune Financial. So by bridging, you also be eligible for this Rune Financial airdrop as well. So this is pretty big, and they're actually buying it back to do some good stuff with it. So that's pretty awesome. We'll definitely get Jeff's opinion on this later. I'm sure that's one of the updates he's going to share with us. So
yeah.
Our next thing here, Athena's Agora. All payments have officially been sent out. The very first prediction market on Bitcoin just made payouts using NUSD, which is the bank stablecoin. This is pretty big. You were actually entered their spaces, I want to say Friday night. Could you give us any insights into that and how you feel about their first event that just happened?
Yeah, so I did join their spaces on Friday. It was pretty cool. You could tell it was their first spaces. They answered whatever questions that people had, and I think I got my questions answered for the most part. I was wondering what they were going to do for like non-custodial, custodial, and it was pretty much what I thought. Starting off custodial, eventually the goal is to, I believe, make it more and more decentralized. But yeah, they had their first event settle yesterday, and all the payouts are supposed to be there. So we actually have right now a functioning, supposedly what they said, right? So I haven't checked on chain, but they posted the on chain links, functioning predictions market on Bitcoin. This was a call to action from David Bailey, the founder of Bitcoin Magazine, 3 weeks ago. And these guys got to market really quick. And so if they continue down this route and they continue, evolving the site, making the UI better and better, I think they have a huge opportunity in front of them. Huge. Yeah. So we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think that, it's pretty cool. I haven't dipped my toe yet. I like to just wait around and watch for a little bit, make sure everything goes properly. But what I've saw over the weekend was pretty awesome. What was the first thing? It was the cup, right? It was the soccer or the football.
It was who was it? Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the event. Actually, let me just pull this up in general because they did post about it here. You can see here. So it says this is directly from the Agora Twitter account, so you can go follow them. It's at ALETHEIASAGORA. And they say all payments have been officially sent out. Congratulations to everyone who was a part of this. Together, we just settled the first ever prediction market on Bitcoin. What market should we launch next? And it was Spain versus England. That was right. So Spain won 2-1. So you can see like all the addresses and stuff that got the payments, and it's really cool. Whatever token amount that they bet on is what they're going to get in USD. So pretty cool. I mean, a straight up Bitcoin betting platform seems to be what it is. Yeah, man. I imagine all the Trump coins were bought up recently. Yeah. Or the Republican coins, I should say.
And it's baseball weekend, right? It's MLB All-Star game. I'm hoping they add that. That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe the home run contest. That could be really cool. You could do like multiple, like have like 5 or 6 different batters, and whoever wins, because that could be pretty crazy. I'm sure they're gonna do something for that. But we'll see.
Yep, and they are a Rune, by the way. So they have I think it's the same name of their platform. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see how they do against Byzantine General, because Byzantine General doesn't have the platform ready right now, but they do have support. You can see it either from their own team's capital or if it's from the public, right? Because their market cap is about 3 times the size of the Agora, but Agora is pushing stuff out right now. So it's going to be a good arms. I think it's going to be a good little race here. We'll see what happens.
100%. This is something that came across our feed today. Hermetica. I think I heard her. Hope I said that right. They said Bitcoin L1 can't do what other chains do, and then that changes in 24 hours. They're dropping a stable coin. It's called the USDH, and you can see that on Luminex. It's USDH, and then it's Hermetica. I wish it was an easier name to say because that's gonna bother me. Am I saying that right? Hermetica.
Yeah, I mean that is how you say it,
Okay.
Hermetica.
Hermetica. I'll have to get used to that. It'll take me 2 weeks. But they have a website here, and I signed up for it for updates for our Ordinal Revolution email. And it's another stablecoin coming to Bitcoin. You're going to see more and more of this. Obviously, there's the BitUSD from BitSmiley, obviously NUSD from Banked, and now this one dropping tomorrow. And then we have the I think it's Yella Finance that also has their own stablecoin as well. So you're going to see a lot of this happening, guys. We're going to have multiple stablecoins on Bitcoin. It's going to become very normalized very soon, especially in the runes, because you don't need no transfer inscriptions. Just kind of makes it a little easier to play around with this stuff. So this is big, and earning 25% yield on your dollars, which I don't think is the best play. I think holding Bitcoin is the best play. I think you're going to earn a lot more than 25%. But how do you feel about another stablecoin coming into our ecosystem?
We talked about this when we were prepping for the show, and I think both of us agreed that we'll probably see 4 to 6 stable tokens that are a part of the Bitcoin ecosystem, and this is huge. Right off the bat, I love how they just announced it's backed by Bitcoin. I mean, I would think logically that's what you would do, right? Because Bitcoin's so strong, and it just keeps getting stronger over time. Now the world powers are talking about using it as a reserve for their currency. So it makes the most sense to go this route. But I do like the fact that there's other stable coins that use different routes, right? For example, like BAMP of Nakamoto uses more of a basket, I think, of goods, right? So it's the Athena.
No, Bank, it just uses Athena.
Is it? Okay, so they're bringing back by the Athena stable. So I think it's good to kind of have these other options, right? On Ethereum's network's obviously a lot bigger right now. But they have I think 4 to 6 legitimate stable tokens that have survived the test of time, most of them. So we're kind of getting to that infrastructure period, which gets me more excited and more bullish because stable tokens are coming out now, guys. I mean, you know what I mean? This is big. So why do you need stable tokens? You need it to be able to do things with an on-chain economy. And this is the second stable token coming out. So we're going to see who's going to be that user. I would imagine the first 6 months of the bull market, who's going to be that leader. And then some of them will, still be solid, but they just won't be used as much. Just like on ETH, right? USDT is the most used, or USDC. Those two are the top two. Then you have DAI. Then you have, I think, was it Fractal has a stable, right? Or something over there. Anyways.
So the last thing on that, it says earn up to 25% yield. Subscribe to join on our wait list, which we did. Your dollars, USDH is the first Bitcoin-backed yield-bearing synthetic stable. So it's backed by Bitcoin. This is different than the bank token and NUSD. So it's pretty big. That's why you're able to earn yield on it, because obviously they think Bitcoin's going to go up. But what happens when Bitcoin goes down? That's the only question.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be, going up to a certain point to where, it's going to be safe. I imagine there's going to be a point where it stabilizes, just like gold. I mean, back in the day, it wasn't one consistent value, right? When it was the reserve for currencies. So we're going to see how this plays out. But I think more than anything, we should be excited that there's it's kind of like the tap ecosystem wallets for me, or marketplaces that will come out. You got more than one, that means there's something here. You know what I mean? And obviously more than 2 and 3, it further confirms that we're heading to a place where we're going to have a lot of on-chain economy, and it's going to be fun.
I agree. All right, let's get into some Q&A. Should be fun here. Jump a little earlier than normal. Let me take off this banner.
All right. Yeah. Actually, so one thing I want to touch on here was, sure. We'll start from the bottom here. He says, Base Angels double in value. Yes, they did. I want to highlight a couple Ordinal projects real quick that did, definitely go up. So you saw Base Angels really just shoot up. Did you see this?
Yeah.
So they shot up. Yeah. I felt like they always had the potential, but then like they would not really take off. But it looks like they're starting to take off here. So base angels jumped up. They're up 129% here. But another one was the commoners. I was a bit shocked to see how far they jumped up. You know, they were at like 306 and now they're at 2017, right? So that's a pretty big one that jumped up. And so what do you think about these that kind of came out of nowhere and popped up? What do you think's happening?
Yeah, I just think it was like just pent up demand, right? Maybe people are just trying to get their Bitcoin to earn more sats here. It definitely seems very cabalish. It feels very a bunch of people got together and said, let's this is the one to buy. And then maybe from an alpha group or something. There's definitely some type of momentum behind that with a large number of people, because that stuff doesn't just happen very quickly. But a lot of times too, I mean, you can take something up on like 17 buys, right, for a couple $100, maybe a couple $1,000. So a lot of these smaller projects they're not hard to move.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, especially if there isn't like a ton of volume on them for a while, right? So
Yeah.
the people aren't paying attention to them as much. So a whale can come in and take out like walls, right? Sell walls really easily. So that could be what's happening here. Commoners was one of those. It's the first 10K, uncommon collection. So we'll see where that goes. But Yashir also said they released and airdropped their runes token. So it looks like Base Angels kind of, brought some more. This is what I'm talking about, though. Like it can help grow your community if you drop like a token or NFT into the bull market.
Yep.
Towards the end, of course, you're gonna struggle because you're splitting liquidity whenever people are poor. To make it to be frank with that. So
100%, man.
All right. Danny Boy's asking, can we still bridge bitmaps over too? So right now, I think they put a pause on that, but that'll be a good question. We'll bring it up whenever we have the builders back on, because Unicross is going to be here. Jeff will be here as well, so we can talk to them about that and see what that looks like for the future.
Yeah, 100%.
Danny has a good point here. He says, I think everyone should try to separate their Billy Cats in different wallets so the ratio looks more attractive. Some hold 20 plus. I agree this could be effective, but I don't think that we need that. Like, I think, the community is growing organically, naturally. The people that are really into it and passionate about it and believe it, they're posting on Twitter. And I think that this conference is going to be a big deal. So I think it's going to happen naturally. So we'll see. But good strategy. Good point there. So if everybody just separates their Billy Cats into different wallets, it'll show a higher holder count. But I think we'll get there regardless.
Should I do it for mine? Now I got me thinking. I should probably break them up a little
500. No, I'm just kidding. All right. H. says, for the glory of consistency. Appreciate that, brother. You're consistent every day you show up. And then Kai Effect says, I'm sticking with the team, bro. Sticking with you. Kai, message me on Twitter if you got your Twitter account, because I'm waiting on your address still. Nighthawk says, made roll call. Now I can die. I guess you've been beating that message down pretty heavily.
I don't want you to die, but stay alive.
And then he calls me Mr. Yagobi Bitcoin businessman. I don't know if I want to be called that.
I'm making that Twitter handle.
That's funny.
What else we got here?
There was a couple questions in here.
So we got Merlin Monday in about 7 minutes, guys. So put your questions in the chat if you have any questions for Jeff and those guys. And we can, if we don't have any more questions, we can begin with our first guest here.
Yeah, we can do that. So just real quick to reiterate the guest list, it's going to be Surf Protocol, the leverage platform, Unicross, Verium DEX, which we have right now, and then Jeff as well. So real quick, let's see if there was any other questions here.
There's one statement I did want to hit on. He said, Merlin chain is dead, my friend. Merlin chain is very much alive, bro. We've been seeing a lot in the back end, a lot from Verium DEX and Ordinal Hive and Surf. And if you think Merlin chain is dead, you're still living in
Go April, look at the volume.
July. Yeah, dude. It's something to start looking at. You still have an opportunity to get early. Verium DEX and Ordinal Hour just about launching. We'll get some news from Sam to find out the exact day of Verium DEX, but we know that Ordinal Hive is in their beta mode, which should be about a week or two before they really go live on the launch. So,
yeah, I mean, in the beta mode too, you can still make legitimate, purchases and sales and trade your ordinals like Shizzy's been doing. So it's there. It's just not open to everybody yet, but it will be. It definitely will be.
Yasher says, what's the plan for the MP token? The MP token isn't really a part of, that's a Merlin swap question, right?
Yeah, that's a Merlin swap question. So I'm going to try to get Merlin swap on next week. That's one that we haven't had on yet, but also Yasher says, guys, can you please come up with some details about what fractional Bitcoin is and how we can be prepared for it? So we are trying to get a guest on that is has a lot of exposure to that. I mean, it's pretty simple on what it is. It's basically a mirror of Bitcoin. All the blocks are being forked. Everything's being forked. But it allows you to do more on Fractal than you can do on Bitcoin because you can't do smart contract stuff. But they are tracking and they're mimicking all the transactions that Bitcoin's having. So it's basically a mirror of Bitcoin with more flexibility and functionality. But we'll get someone on to dive into that because I think that's important for our audience because I think being prepared for the FB token is important. And Sats is taken off. So
yeah. Sats being the fee token. I just feel like with Sats and FB, it's very similar to track and tap. And that's another one of my problems with it. Now they have technically two tokens. So
Yep. All right. I think that's going to be it. So we're going to pull up our first guest for Merlin Mondays and put your questions about any of those projects in the chat. So once we get to the QA, you guys can have it. But let's, without further ado, let's bring up Sam.
What's up,
Sam?
buddy?
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Great, man. Bitcoin price is up, right? I'm still waiting for your prediction of 30K, Sam.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, guys are doing good. Just grinding away. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Verium DEX, we're going to be launching pretty soon within the next week or so. Whoa. And pretty excited about it. I just had to change a couple of things on the staking of BRC 420 side. Even though the pool was completed, I just wanted to redo a couple of things. And I think we are positioning ourselves to initially just have all the BRC 420s get staked on our platform, right? And then we're going to build on that. So whether it be, obviously we're going to start off with Verium mines, then it's going to be some of the more prominent ones, and eventually we'll try to bring in as many as we can that have the most users, and then take the next step from there. Apart from that, we're ready. As I said, we're going to launch at a market cap of 330K. Everything will be available, staking and all that jazz, analytics, all that anything that you could require from a DEX would be available on day one. But that's just kind of where we are in terms of the project. Pretty excited. We've been working on it for a while, and now we're just going to see everything kind of pan out from the Verium DEX side.
Gotcha.
Single staking is a big deal to me. I'm a huge fan of single staking. Is that what you guys are planning to do with these BRC 420s, or is it more like an LP?
No, it is single staking, right? So basically, the idea being, so for Verium mines, if you take that for example, you could just go in there, you can stake it, and then you can start earning yield. Verium mine is going to have the most emission out of all the others over a period of time, and then that's that model of staking and token emission. We're going to work with other BRC 420s to kind of have their token emitted on our platform, and then we can also allow some of our token in that yield. So that's going to be what it's going to be after we go live. We're going to be putting in pools for all the other BRC 420s and kind of work with them to see if they want to launch a token. And then and then that's going to be our next kind of, so to speak, goal or milestone. And then we have a couple other things that we'll see how it would make sense to incorporate those. Just don't want to say it yet because, it's just, I don't think it makes sense right now.
Gotcha. Well, I want to stay on this BRC 420 thing because that protocol had such a strong hype in the beginning, and it followed with strong volume, right? A lot of projects were launching BRC 420s and all that stuff, and then it died down, right? A bit after Merlin chain kind of got their bearings and figured out what they wanted to build on the chain, and it's been quiet for a while for the BRC 420 front. How do you see what was the reasoning why you wanted to extend the BRC 420 protocol past just the mines? Like, what was the thinking of why you wanted to do that?
Well, I mean, I think in terms of the mines, like that's kind of where our users are, right? I mean, if they weren't there, we wouldn't be making any of this, right? So I think apart from that, that's the reason why we started with BRC 420. The reason we're sticking with it is because I do believe that there's some merit to like that 3D kind of structure in the metaverse, so to speak. If this whole bitmap things does pick up, which I'm betting on that it does, I think BRC 420s and their 3D kind of models on in a metaverse makes a lot of sense. It just does, right? Like in the metaverse, what do you see? You see 3D objects, right? So I think it does kind of tackle that angle a little bit. And then apart from that, I think BRC 420s have a lot of users, like not users, but people there, right? You could make the argument that there's at least 10,000 people that hold BRC 420s, or maybe 20. I don't know exactly what that number is, but there's a big amount. So if we can capture those users, I think it makes every sense for us to do. And that's the reason why we're doing single staking for them, so that we can get those users and then establish something around that.
100%.
I think that's really genius. BRC 420 has been a really strong community that's really gotten beaten down lately. So bringing them a little bit of light in the darkness is really smart, and I really think that it kind of begins an upward trend, especially with we heard about bitmap.game, and you said it yourself, the metaverse aspect of a lot of this stuff will be probably intended to be in there, right? So you guys are kind of giving that first structure of, hey, come stake here, earn our token, which that really kind of gets your token in a lot more hands, right? That really spreads the Verium DEX token around to a lot of people, which is really smart because you guys aren't, there's no like big airdrop, there's no like big way of distributing this token. So doing it this way is actually really smart. And obviously you guys are going to be getting other ways of earning as well. So I love this idea, and I think it's really genius.
Yeah, and I think there's some synergy. Like I don't know how this will play out in the future, but it may. I think there's some synergy between obviously we're also connected with Merlin chain pretty well, and I think bitmap.game, I don't know what it evolves into, but there can be some synergy where hey, you come here, you stake on our staking pools, and then you get something in the bitmap.game if that platform were to pick up, right? Like you could have a character that goes around, and now since you're staked, you could get more tokens or whatever, however that play works out. But I'd like for us to collaborate with bitmap.game and Merlin in regards to that. But if that synergy does arise, but I think that's a future thing if it does happen.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, I think a lot of projects and communities that have BRC 420s are just going to be happy that they can do something with them right now. You know what I mean? And so you guys are offering that. So I think a lot of projects should be thankful that you guys are going to have this platform, because I think it's very needed, and it's perfect timing because, BRC 420 marketplace too, is they've been talking about a makeover for it. So I think everything's kind of starting to happen at the right time. I'm excited.
I think once our platform is launched, I think my strategy with the team would be to just kind of reach out to all these communities and be like, hey, we'll create the staking pool and all that for you guys, which we will, and then they can just launch a token and put a huge amount of token supply for staking distribution, and then we can add on our token, and then you just go over there, you stake your BRC420, and boom, you're getting yields. And then we were collaborating with different BRC420 communities out there. So I think that's what our step is going to be.
Gotcha.
I love it.
Awesome. All right, Sam. Well, I'm gonna pull you down, and if you wouldn't mind hanging down, because there's a couple questions in the chat for you at the end. Just hang out with us for a little bit, and then I'll bring you back up.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate it. All right. I think bringing Jeff up to give kind of an ecosystem update would be important.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do that. Jeff, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
Hey guys, it was a rough day. I have too many meetings today, but glad to be
sorry.
here. Yeah, and so the updates. So first, I've tried the new version of Bitmetal game. I think like we were planning to launch this like today or tomorrow, but last time I think Shizzy said like you can't be just like 3D war people running around. So that was our plan. So we were trying to add something new to that. But I don't know. Probably we'll just go with like the earliest version. Just like a new phase. I mean, something will be different. It will support layer 2 wallets and address, of course. All those B-maps that are turned into tokens will be in the neutral zone. So basically, you can get them by staking your BMAP token, to build your own metaverse world on that. I think the new version of BMAP game will be something like, like Casey said, like a virtual casino kind of thing. So basically, you go there, you can set up a big like billboard with hot mints, from Genie data, so you can see all kinds of hot mints for BRC20 for runes, which today is 0, for gas on layer 1. But but probably you will see some hot mints, hot trade there. You can inscribe them by using all kinds of inscribing service. You can see all these like DEX, LPs. You can see VDEX, staking. If you have BRC420, you can do that. So basically, like a immersive experience with all kinds of tools and trading DApps. If you want to do perps, if you want to do anything else, you can have that experience in that room with your friends. So I think it'll be more fun. We will see, how that goes. And another upgrade with BRC420.io, the website. Basically, we'll combine all these listings from layer 1 and layer 2 together. Layer 1 from us, layer 2 from Unicross. So users just need to go there. If you want to buy something, if you want to buy the blue box or whatever you are trying to buy, you can see all listings, from layer 1, layer 2. So you will see, this is like the cheapest. Like people like keep asking me, like, where do I buy the cheaper ones? Because right now I think there are more liquidity on Unicross than BRC420 website. So you will see all this information. You can use your wallet to sweep. So so we are trying to combine all this information as step 1. And the next things in my mind, I think Surf will have the LPs for Merl token. So before, you can only do Bitcoin and stuff, right? Now you can stake Merl to gain Merl. And I think the APY is pretty high. I think it's like 12 to 15%.
I was looking at that today, actually, and I saw it was only Bitcoin. So that's awesome that they're adding Merl to that. Yeah, like right now, the number is there are like 40 to 50 million Merl staked in Avalon. But basically, all you get is point, right? I mean, that is good. But if some people want to make real yields, based on Merl, they can, do that on Surf, and we will see, how much, how many Merls will be staked in Surf. If we can do like 100 million staked on chain, there will be much less selling power, in CX. So that's like something we're trying to do. And I think Solve Protocol opened their Vault 2 last week. The 500 Bitcoin sold out in 31 minutes. It was pretty crazy. So probably they would do like Vault 3. I think some people, they're really into Babylon. I know all those people are not into Babylon, but I think all these DeFi people, they are very into Babylon. So we will see about that. And and a few other new projects coming to build on Merlin. I think we will see some announcement pretty soon. So I think so our attention is back to Bitmetal game and BRC420. We will definitely have some. Oh, and the Unicross bridge. We're working with Unicross bridge right now. The runes and BRC20 are permissionless. I think the only thing you do is to apply for a new ticker.
submit like, I don't know, $20 or $30 kind of thing to open this, because like it really puts cost on us. And we say like a lot of time, you know, if you apply for this ticker, pay $30, which is fine. You know, when the gas fee is high, every transaction is like $30. So just like pay $30 to open this ticker, and so it's going to be permissionless. And yeah, I think that's something they're building. So yeah, I think lots of things they're going like spontaneously, and with market coming back, I think, you know, there are more green news coming too.
When you say create a ticker, what do you exactly do you mean?
So like right now, you know, so they support like, I don't know, like 20 rooms tokens or like 15, right? So if if you love like Nakamoto or, you know, the $1 billion cat kind of thing, you can apply to open this, and all you have to, you know, spend is like $20, and this bridge will be open, you know, forever. So, you know, just you know, yeah.
So anyone could do this. So if I wanted to bring in anything, I could just pay the $30 and get that over.
Yeah, yes, and all that money they will use that to buy back RuFi. You know, that's why they have like 30%, 50%, you know, thing today.
Gotcha.
That's exciting. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I love the fact that they're looking at ways and the mechanisms of their platform on how to get some of these tokens back to strength, right? Like the whole fact that they're using that amount for RuFi, building up the foundation for it. I think it's important because, you know, people want the tokens that they invested in to pump, obviously, but not every token can pump all the time. But we are heading into better market conditions. So this is really, really brilliant. And we'll let Mr. J kind of talk a little bit more on that once he jumps up. But my question for you real quick before we get Mr. J up here is, you said bitmap.game is pretty much ready. Are we looking at maybe like later this week, or is it still up in the air of when the new version will be added?
I think we're confident to launch this on Wednesday if Shizzy doesn't, you know, ask for like
Shizzy's always messing things up. I promise you. You're lucky you don't have to work with him every day. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, now it's just like
add more.
Yeah, now it's just like 3D world with, you know, like avatars and cool stuff, and people can, you know, talk like we used to, you know, use audio to talk to each other and all that, and, you know, connecting your MetaMask or, you know, AA wallet. So it's like a very basic version. We will call that like a alpha version for new bitmap.game. But yeah, we'll definitely add new functions, you know, just like step by step, not you know, on one day.
Lightsabers. That's all I want. I just want to battle with Yagobi with a lightsaber. That would be the dream of mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I think it's much needed for the marketplace and the environment to kind of be upgraded. And then you have projects like VDEX that's trying to also, you know, add and assist the BRC 420 community. So I think that we can see some synergies continually grow here with that, and I think things will get better for sure.
Yeah, I mean, with smart contract, bitmap.game will be, you know, like full of imagination. Like for example, if you guys like you and Shizzy are playing like a gunshot game, you know, you can do a bet for like, you know, 10 orders or something, and you can just do that, you know. And so basically anything you can think of, you can build that in the new bitmap.game. But you know, if you do that on layer one, of course, you know, like they're very, very like limited. That's why we are very excited about the new version.
Awesome. All right. Well, Jeff, do you mind hanging up here with us for a little bit? I'm gonna bring Mr. J up.
Sure, of course.
All right, let's do it. All right, Mr. J, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. How are you doing, sir?
Jim, I'm doing good. How you guys?
Good,
wow,
good.
I love the mic, dude. Sound like a Wheel of Fortune over here. I love it.
Wheel of Fortune.
Like the guy who talks in the beginning. It's like it was awesome.
Okay.
I love it, Mr. J.
Yeah, dude. I was just listening on to the conversation between you guys and Jeff, and it got me really excited because I really like playing around in bitmaps. We experienced that kind of fun back then when we were playing around in layer one. It's nice to walk around as pixelated characters. Even had some fun making some myself. But yeah, coming on to like Bitcoin layer 2, there's just so much thing you can expand from that. So yeah, we're excited, bro.
100%. And I absolutely love that a lot of these core builders on Merlin are one of us, right? Because Mr. J's been in Ordinals for as long as I can remember. Same with Jeff. And so, you know, they were degenning on side by side with us, you know, before things, you know, opportunities arose, and you see where you can scale and stuff like that. And then Merlin Chain was born. But I absolutely love that. Can you go a little bit into what Jeff was talking about with Unicross and the recent updates and stuff with the project?
Okay, so sometime I think maybe when you guys were sleeping, we launched this new feature where you can apply to get the assets that you like, the assets that you can't find on Merlin right now, and bring them over. So, for example, say you have a ticker called Ordinal Revolution #1, and then it's not on Merlin right now. So it's pretty easy. Just go on to Unicross and go over to Bridge, and you can choose to apply for your new asset, and you just click and apply. It's pretty much straightforward like that. We've made it automated, so you don't really have to talk to anyone anymore, and just pay a small fee and then get your asset over. And the sky's the limit to what you can really do on layer 2. We see this as an opening for a lot of new builders to come on and try out what Merlin has to offer. We've got a great ecosystem right now with Surf, Solve, Merlin Swap, BitGenie, VDEX, and we really want to see the community come together and utilize their own assets or assets that they really like, and try and do something on Bitcoin layer 2.
Absolutely.
What's the time frame on that? Let's just say I do it today. How long of a wait potentially am I waiting for? Like a week, 2 weeks?
No, you don't have to wait that long, bro.
That would be an application process.
It takes time to do this stuff. It's not easy. We know that firsthand. I'm just curious of, I didn't want to say 2 days, and you say no, it's gonna be a week. So that's why I kind of threw out some little bit of key leeway for you guys. But what would you say it would take?
Okay, we've did a lot of improvements, and I'm happy to say, even with bridging out right now, it's only 3 days, compared to 1 week that we saw last time. And another thing is for the new asset applications, it will only take about 1 day.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's incredible.
Awesome. And so it can be any type of or it has to be one of the mainstream Bitcoin layer 1 assets, right? So runes or BRC20 like that, or what does that look like?
Okay, so in the beginning we'll be starting out with like you mentioned, mainstream like Ordinals, BRC20, and also runes. But we all know that there's a lot of other amazing asset protocols on Bitcoin as well. For example, like Bitmap Games, BRC420. So these are all in the works for us to support, but we'll be starting with the major ones first, and then we'll move on to other stuff. Just because of the workload, and also we want to really test it out and see how the community receives it. We expect to see probably maybe 50 or something like that amount of new assets coming in within this 24 hours.
Yeah. Unicross is such a huge tool for other builders like Ordinal Hive and stuff like that, because now people can start to bridge over like Billy Cats or something else, to really, because Ordinal Hive's coming up with an AMM for Ordinals, which is going to be exciting as heck, right? So this is awesome. I absolutely love this, that you guys have created this automated system to do so. Could you talk a little bit about the fees and how they're going back to RuFi, and how you guys are trying to build foundations of that kind of stuff?
Okay, so with bridging in, once you've already created this application, which costs maybe about about 0.0003 Bitcoin, and once that's done, it's like a one-time, you could call it like a Genesis kind of fee, and then after that, when you bridge in the same and the assets that you want to bridge in, it's free, for a limited time. But bridging out still costs some fees, and we'll be using those fees to go towards RuFi. Although this is not like a token by Unicross, we've seen the community that's formed from it. Actually, they're really eager to build and make a name for themselves through RuFi. So we want to provide a lot of support for people that support us.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because they were the early supporters, right? Because RuFi was kind of like a test runes token type of situation. So I love that you guys are giving back to that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
without RuFi, there's no testing period, right? That was like that was awesome.
It was really a stress test for Merlin for a lot of things, you know, and then people who really stuck through it, you know, despite a lot of setbacks that we faced in the beginning, you know, everyone kind of got a very good amount of airdrops, and that's really what RuFi is, you know, like we've airdropped this to all our supporters, and then after that, you know, what we did was we did a lot of buybacks to from ourselves, just because, you know, we want to support it. Like we none of the team actually got any allocation of tokens. All of this was just really bought by us and the community.
Yeah, it's just building the trust back up and or furthering that trust build out, and I love it. So all right, any other updates from Unicross?
There's a lot of features, feature updates, just small things in the meantime, and then we're working towards something bigger, which I think was kind of like said here last time, I'm not too sure, which is basically we see a lot of this issue of liquidity being, you know, scattered around these different Bitcoin layer 2s and different asset protocols, and, you know, even different chains. So we're coming up with a solution for this, and, you know, stay tuned.
Awesome. So my question is, like, let's just say my rune that I want to bring over doesn't have any decimals, because obviously all ERC20s, they have to have decimals, right? So if my rune does not have decimals, is there a process, or will I just be denied?
You can do like you know, you can bridge over any assets that, you know, doesn't have decimals. But, you know, if you really want it to have decimals, one way I would suggest you could do is you know, keeping with how all these assets, you know, they come from Bitcoin layer 1. So probably have another asset that you can transition it towards on Phantom. This is, you know, one of the reasons why there's Phantom existing in the first place, is because once you've created something on Bitcoin, you can't really change it anymore. Now you can burn it sort of with a OP return, but you really can't change the details of it once you've already deployed it. So Phantom is a way for you to transition different assets protocols to asset protocols, like BRC20 to runes to BRC20. So that is a way for you to add on decimals. But if you already set it without decimals in the beginning, then we can't really, like, I would say, force it in when we're bridging it over, because that would cause a lot of like indexing issues and like consistency issues.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you can. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I actually have a like spoiler alert, you know, for the Merlin Phantom stuff, because I know Mr. J just doesn't say much. You know, every time you ask him, he was like, it's, you know, under process. You know, we'll bring something new. Stay tuned, this kind of stuff. But yeah, but if you like look at Merlin Phantom for BMAPs, you know, I think. Wait, let me check. Like right now, I think there's like over 63,000 ish.
Yeah, about 63,000.
Yeah,
swap.
63,000 BMAPs, you know, converted into, you know, tokens, you know, this kind of stuff. But, you know, there's still like 180K, you know, on Merlin. There's still like stay like in BMAPs, right? But, you know, when in the future, when token price is up, you know, people probably will, you know, convert that into tokens to sell that, you know, with more liquidity. You know, you see the number one whale of BMAPs. I don't know who that is. You know, I've heard rumors. But I think you guys heard the rumors too, right? But we don't know who that is. He just keeps dumping like 200 BMAPs every day on the running swap. You know, he just draining the LP, getting all these merls. He has like, I don't know, like 3 Bitcoin and like hundreds of thousands of merls right now by dumping BMAPs. So yeah, so what if people just don't convert, you know, like BMAPs into the token, right? So I think Unicross will have a mechanism that, you know, the earlier you convert, right, you will be the party who will receive the, you know, a portion of fees that later like users who convert. So for example, you can set like the fees to like 5%, 3%, whatever, right? So if you convert today, you're fine. You pay 5%, but you will receive all this 5%, pay, tomorrow, the day after. So the later you convert, you basically giving money to the early adopters. So I think that will be, up. I think they told me this week, but I know if I ask Mr. J, he will say, just stay tuned, this kind of stuff. But yeah, this is just like a tokenomics for all Merlin Phantom tokens. So if you are the owner, you can just set up, 3%, 5%. Even you can set up like 20% and 50%, whatever, because it's permissionless. People don't have to do that. So you can actually build like a business model by doing that and redistribute these tokens to whatever you want. But I mean, it's a free market, so people can people can do like different kinds of tokens for bitmaps. It's on their free will.
Yeah,
man.
I don't think people are realizing how much like foundational value is being set up for bitmaps for the future, because once bitmap.game becomes more used and you're able to use that token in that environment, that's another use case for it, right? So I'm excited to see what happens with Merlin Phantom, but also with bitmap token specifically, because I think there's we haven't gotten anywhere close to what the craziness is going to be like at the peak of this bull market. So,
yeah, man. Yeah, one thing I love about like the Merlin teams is like you guys seems like all good friends, right? It seems like everyone that in this ecosystem, from like the people in the West, the people in the East, it really seems to be no barrier of entry, and it seems like it'd be like a nice like friendly conversation every time I hear you guys talking. Like it just seems like everyone is really, really close, and I think that's what people don't understand about Merlin right now is like how good it is to be building over there, right? So that's one thing that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude,
All right.
as a builder on Merlin, the amount of support that you get from the team, from Jeff, it's not really something that I've seen elsewhere. They really go all out, whether it's in like IRL or like online marketing or events, and I think that deserves a lot of merit. So thanks for pointing that out, bro.
Yeah, man. Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
We have a comment here real quick. I know we're not getting the comments, but what would you guys say to this comment from Jamie Diamond Coin? Merlin is dead. What would your response be to that?
Like, I love it,
Ordinal.
just like, yeah, just like, yeah, like I said today, ruins are dead, ordinals are dead.
Let's get it. That means
it.
that means it's actually bullish, because we've seen what happens in the past when people say ordinals are dead and runes are dead. So I think we're going to see a huge wave from just the Bitcoin ecosystem, but the ones that are focused on scaling Bitcoin layer 1 assets that already have the infrastructure and foundation, they're going to be just have the head start. I mean, it's logical. You just use your brain and the 2 brain cells that some of you guys only received from God, but use those 2 at least, because then you can have some logic. But anyways, all right. So, Mr. J, I'm going to bring you down for a second or a couple minutes here, and I'm going to bring Tony up, but stick with us if you don't mind.
Yeah, happy to, bro.
All right, awesome. Thanks,
Mr. J.
Guys, we have 710 people in here. So, I don't know if that's dead, then I want to see what alive is like. So, keep sharing this space. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. All right, Tony, we are adding Tony from Surf Protocol to the stage now. Hello, Tony. How are you doing, sir? Welcome to Ordinal Revolution.
Oh, Tony said my device is not connected.
Yeah, he might need to
One
reconnect
second.
here.
You might have to do a refresh, Tony, if you're hearing this. But yeah. Well, kind of for anyone who doesn't know, maybe Jeff, maybe you can answer this. What is Surf Protocol?
Yeah, so basically it's a GMX-alike, kind of product, to trade perps on chain. So if you have money on chain, if you want to long Bitcoin, short Merl, Ethereum, Solana, BNB, whatever you like, you can do that on their platform. I think they're, it's gasless. Basically, they will rebate all your gas by doing all kinds of transactions. And because, their Oracle is pretty strong and healthy, so you don't face, a huge ups and downs. I personally, do lots of perp trading on Surf. I lost like a lot of money.
Hello.
But it's gambling, it's fun. So, and also because in the central exchange, basically the CEX took the profits from this kind of perp trading. But on Surf, I think the most fascinating part is you can be the LP. So basically, you can be the shareholders of the casino. So when people like me lose money, basically you are making money. So it's good news for people like me lose money, and all this money goes to LP. And you
Hello.
can stake Bitcoin, and sooner like this week you can stake Merl. So basically, just like put money, like I put like tens of Bitcoin there, and I make like 10%. So
Yeah.
I mean that's a good thing to do. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've always wanted to be the market maker, so that's cool that they allowed that. Tony, welcome to the stage.
Every time you say that,
I know.
Don't say it anymore.
I think the problem was that like he was trying to talk, but
maybe he wasn't
felt
hearing.
like he wasn't connected. Yeah. But anyways,
I can answer questions on his behalf. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the LP that you were just talking about, that's basically like being the market maker is what you're saying, right?
Not exactly. Yeah, not exactly, because it's not an order book model like DYDX, in my understanding. So basically, this money actually does not involve in the perp trading itself, because all the price feed are coming from CX. So
Gotcha.
you don't have to worry about the order book, the counterparty stuff. You basically just trade based on Binance OKX price of Bitcoin, of Ethereum. But the thing is, people are like retail users are actually bad at trading perps. So for the most of the time, you lose. And where does that like money go, right? It goes to LP. But in some like circumstance, like when everybody's making money, the LP might lose a little bit. But for the long term, and like right now, I think it has been like 3 months. And also, I think the LP was like $50 million or like $60 million. So, if you lose something, probably you lose like, 0.1%, like in a day or two. But in the long run, you will make money, because retail users, they really go bankrupt on perp trading.
Yeah. Awesome. Shizzy, you want to bring them up so I don't mess it up?
I got it. Tony, welcome to Ordinal Revolution.
Hey guys, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, finally. Sorry, it's my first time using this, so a little bit struggling with the setup.
Yeah, you're not the only
glad
one.
to be here.
We get that a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, glad to be here. Great to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you as well. Could you do kind of an introduction to who you are and what Surf offers the Bitcoin ecosystem community?
Sure. So I'm Tony. I'm the co-founder of Surf Protocol. Before Surf, actually, I was in trading business for about 10 years. I started my career in TradFi. So I worked for Morgan Stanley for 4 years as a trader. So I traded like FX, rates, options as a market maker. And then in 2017, I joined the crypto industry. I co-founded asset management and market making business in Asia. It's called Amber. It's one of the largest in terms of AUM. It's a CeFi platform, but it sort of we managed lots of clients' crypto assets and try to generate yields for them. And last year we co-founded Surf. The aim is to make to go fully on-chain, fully DeFi. And also Bitcoin ecosystem was becoming a hot topic around the same time. So that's naturally for us to come in here. And also I have known Jeff for a long time. He was doing really well, and he invited us to come build on Merlin. This is how we started Surf on Merlin.
Awesome. Yeah, I've used leverage platforms before. So whenever I started using Surf, it was kind of like I was familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
But I was really impressed in terms of like the speed of the transactions, and then obviously the promotion of paying gas back and stuff. But from a builder's perspective, even though the narrative was building up for Bitcoin DeFi and Bitcoin ecosystem and L2s and stuff, you have to probably at some point thought there was a decent amount of risk here to offer these Bitcoin layer 1 assets to use leverage against. Was that something that you guys were thinking about, and what made you push forward?
Yeah, I think when we were just starting, I think we definitely don't know everything that we know nowadays. At that time, it was just about, we think there's a big market here, and there are user demands, right? So in crypto, every asset you trade, people always have some demanding trading it on leverage, whether it's on buy side or on the short selling side, right? So at that point, we just thought it's a market need that's not fulfilled at the moment. And then things we launched, obviously we were trying to be very close with the Bitcoin ecosystem assets. Like, we listed Merlin on the day Merlin went live. We listed Dog when Dog went live on the day, right? And then we also supported Ordinal and Sets. And till this day, these four assets are probably the most traded assets besides Bitcoin and Ethereum on Surf. And it's very interesting, like any other like Solana assets, like nobody trade at all. But the Bitcoin assets that we listed are becoming quite popular. So back to your question, I think for us, it was really just about building something that people might find it useful. So that's where we're coming from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can you increase the long liquidity for Merle? Because like it's been gone for like 2 weeks, and I'm just like, no, I'm just joking.
No, you're right. You're right. So this is something that we actually noticed, that people taking out all the liquidity for Merlin and Doc. So both of them are out of liquidity at the moment. We are introducing a new mechanism. It's called funding fees. Basically, it rewards people for the sites that are less popular. So in that example, if you are long Merlin, you'll be paying more funding fees. And if you're short Merlin, you'll be getting some of the funding fees as a reward. So the goal is to balance out the long-short ratio of the platform. So hopefully, if that, the reason we limited the exposure for Merlin and Dog is because these are very volatile, and we don't want LPs to lose too much money or are in too risky position in a way. But once, if we can find ways to balance the longs and shorts, then I think that will be the time we open up more liquidity for all the users to trade.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. Yeah, we love Surf here. We use it almost every single day. We actually use it for your charts. Your charts are some of the best charts because you can have like all three on the one screen. It looks phenomenal when we show it every single day on our Bitcoin update. So it's really cool. My question is, like, when you guys are looking in the tokens to add, right? Like, what's some criteria you guys looking for, and like, will you guys eventually basically add all layer 1 assets, or will there always be like a certain ones that you guys put?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So for now, because we heavily rely on Oracle, so we are very careful about what assets we pick. So essentially, like actually from our estimate, we can only list assets that are at least like 100 mil at FDV market cap or above. Actually, that might even be a little bit stretchy. So maybe we're talking about 200 to 300 mil FDV. So, Merlin definitely worked, Dog worked. But if it's some assets that are less than that, it becomes very risky, and the Oracle could be easily manipulated. So we don't want that to happen. In the long run, though, we are sort of looking at alternative ways to include more long-tailed assets, like any assets on L1, but that could require a little bit more time and a bit more like a revamp on the whole product. So I won't talk too much into that, but maybe let's just say in 2-3 times, maybe we'll find ways to not include every assets, but it will be more probable to include more long-tailed assets from L1.
Gotcha. So let's just say the ones that do get on exchanges, they're givens, right? Like the ones that get on Binance and OKX and stuff like that.
Yes.
That makes it a lot easier for you guys, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Appreciate you answering all these questions. The last question that I have that you're probably going to hate is, Surf Protocol has been a really, on fire app, in my opinion, in terms of branding and what's been going on with volume and stuff on Merlin. So a lot of people have been asking us in our community as well is, when will Surf have their IDO or, their token launch, or is that even going to be a thing?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're definitely looking for a good time to launch our token and to reward. I mean, we have a point system, to track, from both from the trader side and from the people adding LP side, right? So that's definitely something on our radar. I would say we're also trying to find the optimal solution for that, right? So when the market is not good and then the overall hypeness is not there, we don't want to do that, and it just means less reward for everyone who participated. So I think we will be a little bit more patient, and I personally still not satisfied with the current product. There are still many issues that we need to improve, right? So the questions you guys asked are some examples of that, right? So I think there are a lot of things that can be improved better, and that could lead to even bigger scale at a later stage. And when that happens, I think that would be the best time for our token launch. So we're definitely trying to make it as soon as possible, but at the same time, we want to be reasonably patient so that it will be. The goal is to do that at the right time, with the right scale of the product, so that everyone are rewarded with the max possible of financial rewards.
Awesome. I actually have two more questions. I get them real quickly if you don't mind.
Sure.
My first question is: are you guys looking at a certain launch pad to launch for your TGE, or will you guys maybe do it in house on your website, or how are you thinking about that?
We haven't looked too much into that. I mean, there are obviously several solutions. Like we could be directly go on a centralized exchange, and on our own exchange at the same time. We could be we are in very close talk with several launchpad also. So that could also be one of the solutions. But like I said, I think it might still be too early for us to seriously consider that. So it'll take some time, but when the time is right, we're looking more into the options for us.
Yeah, I think that was a perfect answer. Thank you for that. I had to ask that because that was, But my next question is pretty. So right now, obviously, I'm earning points every day. I have a Surf card. I have invitations out there, providing liquidity and kind of playing around with with longs and shorts. I'm earning points in a bunch of different ways. Is there any of those points? Are they going to be greater towards potential? Launch of the token and stuff like that. Is there anything that maybe you can kind of give our viewers a kind of bump up on what to do to earn more points?
Sorry that I understand that could be confusing, and that's some question we got from our communities a lot. So in general, all the points are the same. The only exception is the points you get from the OG card, which are completely different system, and it's in a different magnitude. So for example, you could be getting 100 of them, but you're getting thousands of points on the Surf platform, right? So these two are completely different. They are coming from different pool of rewards in the future when we do TGE. But on the Surf protocol, whether you are adding liquidity, whether you are trading, that rewards are considered the same. So a point in LP, a liquidity provision is same as 1 point from trading. So there are really just 1 point on the whole platform and 1 point for staking your OG card.
Awesome. Sounds great. Great answer. We would love to get you back on for a full episode, maybe closer to your TGE and stuff like that. If you're interested, I think that would be great. Sure. We'll do a pre-record and kind of really get all the information out to everyone that's participating.
For sure. Yeah, thanks a lot for using and supporting Surf. You know, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we use
Thank
it.
you.
We probably use it too much. but yeah, we appreciate you, being on stage and answering all these questions. If you don't mind hanging out up here, I'm going to bring everybody else up, and you can kind of give like your final words about, to our audience about Surf. Okay.
For sure. For sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring everybody else up here. All right, guys. First and foremost, just want to say amazing Merlin Monday again. 843 people watching us. I think it's so important. The reason why this idea came about was to educate the Bitcoin ecosystem audience and community about what's actually happening, because there's people that think that there's nothing being built, but that's the whole purpose of this. So I just want to thank everybody for educating the audience. And I want to get into any question, or I'm going to get into some of these questions for you guys here. All right. So, okay. So first, one of our community members says, "Tell Jeff and Surf thank you for claim. Merlin is so alive, not even a teenager yet." So I want to say thank you for claim too, because I don't know who's paying for that, but I definitely claimed a lot of gas. Is that something? Do you have a date on when that is going to end, by the way, Tony?
As far as I'm concerned, it'll be lasting for until we announce otherwise. But I would say for as long as we can foresee, it'll continue.
Gotcha. And will you kind of put out like a pre-warning of like, okay,
oh,
guys,
definitely.
Okay.
We'll pre-announce it like way ahead. Yeah.
Gotcha. Because that definitely helped me recoup some of my losses. That's for sure. Okay, guys. So about the gas and stuff, you can claim all your Merlin gas if you use Surf for all your transactions. So just know that, and then there'll be an announcement once that will be stopped. Right. Yasher has the next question. He has a lot of questions here, but this one says, "What are the plans for the native token of VDEX?" So Sam, can you kind of explain what the plan is for Verium gas token?
Yeah, so we're just going to release the token. Most of it is going to go for Verium mine stakers, and we'll have different liquidity pools that will have different kinds of yields, and we're going to strategically use them for yields. Our focus after the launch will just be on BRC 420 staking and just growing that mechanism through having different tokens, different communities launch with us, and just expanding that. So in that sense, as the whole ecosystem grows, the VDEX value will grow. So that's the trajectory we expect it to take.
Yeah. So I have a question real quick. So are you guys planning any type of governance with this token down the line? Obviously, in the beginning, it's hard to, you kind of want to make sure you have a plan put in place, but down the line, is it like a governance token?
Yeah, I mean, over time, I think it would head in that direction, but I mean, everything has to mature so much for us to like really appreciate the value of that word, right? You know what I mean? So I think in time, as everything grows and a certain milestones are hit, yes, we can. That's what we'll do with it.
Yeah, and also, I'm hearing too.
I do want to touch on a couple of the points that were made here earlier about the token, because we're porting over a few tokens with no decimals, right? Like there's 0 decimals, right? NUSD does not have a decimal. So we will have like a contract live, which is going to just turn your NUSD into WNUSD, and then you can just create a staking pool with it. I mean, we'll have that pool live at launch. I know there's some quite a bit of interest with that NUSD. So that's how we're tackling that on our platform. So just at launch, we will have that.
I love that. Yeah, just wrap it. I didn't even think about that. That's genius. Just any token that doesn't have a decimal, just wrap it. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Okay, so this one's for Jeff. It's from Yasher as well. It says, "Mr. Jeff, do you have a plan to introduce Merlin chain as an independent chain for centralized exchanges?"
What does like independent chain mean? Like layer 1?
I'm guessing. Yasher, could you kind of put a comment in to clarify what you mean by that question? I think that's what he means, but let's let him clarify there. But he did have this second part of it, and it says when Merlin chain on Telegram. Are you guys doing anything to like for Telegram as well?
Yeah, I think we have a official group for Telegram for sure.
Gotcha. I almost wonder if he's talking about like integration, right? So like right now, there's different crypto projects that are integrating into Telegram where you can do stuff directly from Telegram. Is that something that you've had conversations about or anything?
Oh yeah, if that is the question, yes, we have several DApps that are building on Telegram, so people can use that, Telegram DApp to trade on Merlin. But the thing is, Telegram is only like supporting Town network, and in a very smooth way, with their building wallets. So if you're trying to do that with like any other chain, like BNB chain or Solana, you have to use a built-in wallet with MPC solution stuff. But yes, there are several teams are building that. Like I personally do believe Telegram is like a new like blue sea to get all this volume, because it's very cheap to get users there. It's gonna be very, very hard to bring users to to any major chains right now, but Telegram is gonna be much easier.
100%. I agree with that.
Is there any little stupid little games coming? Maybe any hamster games for the Merlin chain?
Yeah, I think he said like layer 1 chain. Yeah, right now I think all the CX just label us for like Bitcoin layer 2. Yeah, it's like old argument, you guys know it. Yeah, layer 2 or sidechain, whatever. But yeah, basically they just label everything like layer 2, like even Stacks. Before this year, Stacks call themselves not like layer 2, but this year everybody calls them layer 2. Yeah.
Gotcha. Good questions, Yasher. Danny's asking Sam, he says, can we already stake our V mines, or is that coming in the next week?
Yeah, staking, as I said, we're just staking is going to be live at the time of the launch. I'm targeting next week for the launch.
Gotcha. Perfect. Bitmap News says, what are your plans for FitMap? Jeff, do you know what FitMap is? Or unless he meant...
He probably means Bitmap, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he kind of talked about the bitmap.game revamp, BRC 420 revamp. Is there anything else that you guys have planned for Bitmap and Merlin integration?
Yes, in case he didn't hear it before, I think the major approach we are trying to take is to combine experience plus trading into Bitmaps, because we have seen lots of Bitmap products, lots of them look cool on Twitter in videos and stuff, but if it doesn't combine trading, no matter it's trading for spot or perps or inscribing runes or ordinals or launchpad, whatever, but you have to combine these components together with the experience. And that is the only way can put some tokenomics into Bitmaps. I mean, that is just our thought. So I think what we're trying to do is combining these components together to actually have some economics for the Bitmap holders, for the Bitmap token itself. And yeah, that is basically our thought.
Gotcha. All right, this one's for Tony from Surf. Danny Boy says, can you ask what the criteria is to get a lucky card? So Tony, how do you get a lucky card if I want one?
These are more event driven or promotional events. Like sometimes I think every month we have one to two different events that we invite more people from whether that's Merlin ecosystem or outside of Merlin ecosystem to come here to trade, and then we'll give out different type of we'll give out lucky cards to incentivize people to come over. So we will probably down the road we'll have more events that we will think about that are both interesting and educational, and we'll incentivize with more lucky cards drop.
Gotcha.
Awesome. That'd be great. I can't wait for an event, a surf event, get some lucky cards, have some fun.
I think so many people are excited about surf. I mean, obviously we are because we talk about it a lot, but it's because they remember what happened with GMX and Arbitrum, and they're like, what, that surf token so bad. But anyways, yeah, so that's how you get the cards, Danny. So stay tuned, and yep, that's the criteria there. And then I saw Gasher says, Tony, your project is amazing. And then he follows up and says, "What a question for Surf? What are the plans for future pairs to be added for trading?" So this is something you hit on already, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So there are a couple of more assets that we're looking at right now that are potentially, definitely, are on our radar and meets the criteria. But also it depends on the market condition and the mood. So I would say we like for for this week or next week we probably won't add any more assets, but any new popular assets coming out of this ecosystem will be one of the first to list them. Um, but yeah, but in the same time, if you find any assets that are interesting or you want to trade them on leverage, definitely let us know. If that's something that we could, meet our own sort of internal risk standard, then it's definitely something we would love to support.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. And I think this is going to be the last question. It's for Unicross, and it's from Yasser. It says, why Unicross does not promote its launchpad so more projects can launch directly with Unicross on Merlin? So, Mr. J, that one's for you. Is that something that you guys are looking to do, or are you guys already promoting your launchpad?
That's something in the works. For our launchpad, I think a lot of people don't understand the whole mechanism behind it originally. Basically, we wanted to have a really good fair launch system for tokens. So when you think about like Sats or Ordi back then, it was fairly launched, and anyone could mint it for free, plus gas fees. So that was the whole concept of our launchpad, to allow like quicker minting on for Bitcoin assets like BRC20 and Runes, and that's how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. So projects are free to like contact us for launching, but just know that it is a free launchpad where we really want to help people bring ideas to life, rather than like true like I would say unfair like minting practices. So just a really free and fair launchpad.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Yeah, got great show today, man. 917 people in here. Thank you everyone for watching, man. You guys we really enjoyed doing this, and you guys give us the stage to talk to these amazing builders. So we'll kind of finish this out right now. We kind of like to give our guests a stage to talk for a few minutes. You can really say whatever you want. So get kind of your last statements. We'll start with where we started earlier. We'll start with Sam, and we'll finish with Jeff and go through the line. But Sam, you're next.
Hey guys, yeah, this is a great space. Thanks for having us. We're really excited. We're gonna be launching this week. Like probably before like next Monday we would have launched, and so super excited about that. As I said, our focus is just right now will be towards BRC 420s and kind of expanding on that. So super excited about that, and yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it, Sam. All right, Mr. J. The stage is yours.
Thank you. I just want to say that we're really happy to be building out like functions for creating assets on Merlin, and we believe like with all these assets being added onto Merlin, there's going to be more chances for members of the community or different projects to really utilize this space for Bitcoin assets to flourish and really unleash their potential.
Awesome. All right, Tony, you're up, buddy.
Hey, yeah, I just want to say thanks a lot for organizing this because we do have a lot of like spaces in Asia, and we speak in like Mandarin or sometimes, and I don't personally get to talk to a lot of the Western audience or the community as often. So definitely thanks for the opportunity and inviting me here, and definitely would love to do more with you guys. And for Surf, our goal is to meet the user demand, user needs, right? So definitely any feedback, any things that you guys like or don't like, definitely let us know, and we'll try our best to improve. But again, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if there's anything I don't like about Surf, honestly. It's definitely one of my favorite platforms. I'm not even saying that because you're here. I thoroughly enjoy it, and thank you for building something that's fun to use, and I can, long and short some sats and Ordi, which is always fun. But
Without KYC.
with that, whoa. Nah, that's
Yes,
good time.
awesome.
All right. Thank you, Tony. We'll finish it up with Jeff, man. Thank you so much for being here every single week, man. Really appreciate it. But stage is yours.
Yeah, I'm just like glad all these builders are still building when the market was bad. For people who haven't built like a project before, you guys cannot understand how hard that is. To build something from scratch, get thousands of users, even millions of users to use that to take the risks of losing money on blockchain. So it's very hard, And I know just like I was talking to Nakib like last week about like last year Ordinal Summit. Like when that happened, people are saying Ordinals are dead. Like this year, people are saying ruins are dead. And we ask any outsiders of Bitcoin, and they basically say ruins are dead. And even if you ask some Bitcoin people, they say ruins are dead. So yeah, I think this is perfect time for building. But people don't really care when the market is down, when the assets is dead, when you're building. But people definitely will care much more when the prices of stuff. We experienced that with BRC20, with BMAPs last year as well. So yeah, I think it's bad time. Thank you guys for hosting this every week. For people who are interested, get a chance to know what we're thinking, what we're trying to deliver, and eventually people see what we deliver. At the end. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, no problem. There's an open invitation for every single one of you guys every single Monday, 12 p.m. And anyone out there listening who is building for Merlin, open invitation. Just reach out to us. We'll add you to the Merlin Telegram chat, and we'll try to get between 3 and 4 every single week. So thank you all you guys, and we'll can't wait till next time.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, thanks guys. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.
See ya.
Yes. All right. Absolutely amazing. Another amazing Merlin Monday, dude. That was fun, exciting. Thank you again to all the guys who join us, and it's fun. I love this part of our jobs, dude. We get to just sit here and get our questions answered. It's amazing.
Yeah, directly from the builders, right? And This is before the crazy bull market starts, right? So I hope you guys continue to watch, because this is what we bring to the table with Ordinal Revolution. Bitcoin ecosystem, that's what we're focused on here on this channel. And we love our community, and that's why we try to bring these builders directly to you guys to ask these questions. So utilize that. Ask more questions directly to these builders. But yeah, super excited. And guys, if you could please check out our partners, Ordinal Hive, Blur of Bitcoin, building on Merlin, Fluid Tokens. They have the Runes DEX. It's earn your points on both those platforms, guys. The Fluid Pass is coming. VDEX, you just heard from them. They look like next week. The single staking BRC 420 part is huge. And then, of course, Traverse Labs. Protect all your Bitcoin Layer 1 assets with Traverse Labs. Best Bitcoin Layer 1 asset solution. Security solution.
Yes, sir. And yeah. And guys, check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles here. If you know someone new trying to get into Ordinals or Merlin for that matter, we have so many articles here. We have some Merlin stuff as well. So anything, if anyone's interested in learning, this is a place to go. Send this to any noob trying to enter Ordinals. We think they would really help them. Also, if you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, we will both be in Bitcoin Nashville. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be inside as well. So definitely come out, come hang out with us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But don't pay full price. Get it a 21% coupon from us. Just go to ordinalrevolution.com, click this banner here, and we also have it at the bottom here as well. So definitely check that out there. And if you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, make sure you have some Ordinals gear. If it's not from us, get it from someone else. But we do have some of the best Ordinals gear. Let's show the maxis that were there. We got new stuff every single day here. So I got to love these Billy Cats. I got a zombie on here, guys. I got a Goose Little shirt. You know what I mean? Got some puppets and so much more, guys. So definitely check it out. And if you are in Bitcoin Nashville, we have a small limited supply of gear that we'll be giving away. So come hang out with us. You might get a free shirt, but you might not. We don't have too much. So, but it's gonna be a good time.
Some gear though.
We do have some. It's gonna
Swag.
be a good time, and you know, as we go to more conferences, we'll definitely bring it more and more gear out there. So we just appreciate you guys rocking with us. 958 people in here, man. We're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. UTC, 4 p.m. UTC. I got to make sure that is correct because I've been saying that a lot. I don't 100% know if that's correct, but I will make sure it's correct. And join us tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tap Tuesday. We're going to have very similar to what we did on Merlin Monday. Again, we get to talk to some amazing builders. So bring your questions, bring your comments, and let's have a good time tomorrow. But until then, we'll see you guys.
Peace.
We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.